Hey buds, welcome back to Metabuzz and welcome to the next reaction of the JoJo episodes. What the fuck is gonna happen, huh? What happens when you get stolen by a green baby and you get thrown into some grass and you get, I don't know, absorbed? Do you absorb it? I have no idea what to expect, but I was very excited to see what the fuck is gonna happen. But all we can do is just go, right?
ようなものは私のスタンドである。ザ・ワールド、我がスタンドの先にあるものこそが人間がさらに先に進むべき道なのである。
Goals. my boy. Come on. We can't be Dio, but we could be the next best thing. Average.
強いパワーがあるからである。必要なものは14の言葉である。
The 14 phrases. I'm gonna I don't know why I thought that said big fart. Spiral staircase, rhinoceros beetle. Actually, oh, desolate row, fig tart. The 14 phrases are necessary.
私自身を忘れないように、この言葉を私のスタンドそのものに。
Why is rhinoceros beetle like? Did you run out of words and just like, yeah, this is good enough?
14の言葉に知性を示して。
Oh. So it is kind of like. Yeah. Your entire arm is fucking gone. All the muscles eviscerated. So the 14 phrases, from my understanding, are almost like a what do they call those? Like the spies that like you need to like activate. It's like one of those where you say those things, the baby will like understand and then be like, all right, you're the dude. Oh.
次の新月の時を待て。
Oh, you have fucking evolved. Interesting. It just drew a little bit more in your face and you got some pretty cool eyes, I guess. Oh, do you have a star on your forehead?
それが天国の時であろう。
What the fuck is that? How did it adapt your clothes?
神父様、お髪が伸びましたね。何日ぶりの本土帰宅ですか?
Are you not gonna like be questionable? Like, oh, you grew your hair out. Didn't you see him probably like a few days ago? And his hair was like normal, and I feel like you would question, you'd be like, how the fuck did your hair grow so fast? And he'd be like, a baby ate my arm. And you're like, I think I want to leave this job. I think now's a good time to leave this place.
あとは天国への時を待つだけだ。
What the fuck do you mean? Alright, so you think heaven is a physical place, so it's not what we discussed in the last like few episodes. But what the fuck is happening, dude? I am thankful that like even though I'm mixed about this part, because like there's so many things I love and there's so many things I'm like, what, why, what? Like everything is confusing, but like it keeps you interested. You know, again, we have a child that's been living in a prison. We have a baby that was born here that required 36 souls and need to be activated. It's also the Green Goblin. You know, we had a prisoner that turned into a stand and then like is capable of living on their own. And we have Jolene at the end of it. So like we got just a bunch of fun little options here.
赤ん坊なんてどこにも持っていなかったんだ。暇すぎるからへそにピアス開けたわ。父さんのディスクは持ってきてる。
What the fuck? I mean, you could pierce your belly button in an instant. Also, you probably shouldn't be doing that while in prison. Also, where are you finding a belly button ring? I hope you didn't take it from somebody else. Ma'am.
Emporio, 今そこにある。スピードワゴン財団に連絡できた。ダメだよ、警備が厳しすぎて。ディスクは持ってるよ、おね。
Yeah, I understand. I think we need a little bit more protection with the CDs, but we're well past this at this point.
閉じこもってて、僕の部屋にも来ないんだ。ウルトラセキュリティハウスユニットからなら行ける。沼に出られたわ。
He stopped visiting your room. Does he know something? I mean, maybe he could feel bad. Maybe he does know that like his like DNA or look was taken to like ambush the group. So maybe he is like a little like, oh, I'm sorry guys. You know what I mean? But I do love Weather Report. So I'm rooting for him. What the fuck am I looking at? This looks like the older sister from the Wild Thornberries that became a stand user. And next to her, something from Danadan. What the fuck is this?
誰か呼んでこようか大丈夫
Interesting. I was trying to decide on what the stand's ability is, which is, you know, it's what we do here. It's a part of the reactions, right? Trying to figure out what the fuck is going on, which again in this part's a little bit more impossible than the other ones, but still, the fact that she is dreaming and was locked in jail in her dreams, you know, and then this person in jail, like, because they're like, if you try to escape at any point, you're done. So that means this person, Miu Miu, is able to watch her at all times. And I'm like, how could you do that when you are yourself are a prisoner? And it's got to be, maybe she'll lock her in the dream, and then maybe like her body will just be incapacitated. You know, as long as she's nearby, she can just like, you know, either put her to sleep or just access whenever she closes her eyes and just keep her locked there, which, you know, is an internal prison. Internal? External? Eternal? Any of those. She'd just be, you know, locked into a coma, which, you know, would prevent her from doing anything. So that's why she's like, hey, you try anything, you're done. Which is a pretty great way to lock somebody down.
ジョリーンここは何なんだあんたはグレスここは女子館房いって1すぐペンを持って
One, grab a pen immediately, okay? It's beautiful handwriting. Okay.
2新
You can only retain up to 3 new things at a time. Defeat the user, her name is Miu Miu. So this must be writing to yourself in this dream world, and you're leaving yourself little notes and tutorials to find this stand user.
らしく覚えられる
You can only retain up to 3 new things at a time. So every time you go to sleep and wake up, you'll have 3 new instructions, I'm assuming.
書いた覚えはないねえなんで私女子館に戻ってきてんのよヘイ答えなよなんであんた無視すんのよ私眠ってたみたいでわかんないのよ
You know what? Isn't it a little weird that her ability was to shrink people, and then the baby was also able to shrink people? Didn't we see that twice in the same part? So, like, I don't know. Have we seen stands before that, like, were basically the same thing? I know, with like, the baby is probably a stronger version of hers, but the fact that, like, Jolene had to deal with being shrunk twice, you know, within, what, like, 20 episodes? Huh. Just something to think about just in case. I don't know. I just don't know if it's supposed to be associated with her or not.
ひょっとしてさグエス私あんたに同じ質問何回も聞いてるお願いなんだけど私が何回も聞いてることもう一回答えてくれない
Interesting. So she's been living this life for how long already? You know? If her roommate is just like, you're out of your fucking mind. You know what I mean? But also, I feel like if I was her roommate, I would just have written a bunch of, like, notes on a piece of paper, like, this, like, see how many times you've asked me, and this is what you've asked me? You know, just keep, like, a diary at this point. So I wonder if it's, like, would we call it a reverse Groundhog Day? Where, like, instead of her living the same day, and no one else can get out of it, and everybody else, like you're living the same day over and over, she is kind of doing that, but without the information. So it's like everybody else is moving forward, but you're stuck in the same rotation. Fascinating idea. Jolene, the prison doctor has diagnosed you with temporary amnesia brought on by a great shock that you received while in the hole. You can only memorize up to 3 things at a time, but you could still remember the past. But if you memorize a 4th thing, you will forget 1. However, since this will not affect your life as a prisoner, you were sent back to the female wing 2 days ago. Fascinating. What an interesting concept. I love this.
その後確か何かあったような。
Wash your hands. What the fuck did that say? We're moving on.
都合を考えるな、空城ジョリーン。あんたは絶対にジェイルハウスロックもこの私も攻撃できない。
Here's the commercial break. Oh, this... Man, I was looking at the... Alright. Sometimes you introduce the stand too early, and I get to see the stats and the name and the stand name and all that shit. And sometimes you keep showing me repeat. Why can't I see the Jailhouse stand stats? You know, and sometimes you're like, oh, this is the stand you're about to see in like 5 minutes. Get your shit together. I don't fucking question it. I also expected her to be like a lot more in this than what she was. You know, like, again, while we're watching the intros and while we're talking, like, meeting the new characters and stuff, like, Hermes, like, I was expecting her to be our Joe Bro. Which, I mean, I think she kind of is, but also I feel like FF was more of a Joe Bro than Hermes was. But I was just shocked to, like, not be able to see her as often as we have seen other characters. You know what I mean? Because I just felt like she was our girl.
王のベッドに忘れてきてしまったか。どっかに書いとく必要があるな。あれ？なんだっけな。私、何？
What a pain in the ass, dude. So basically what we have to learn, the main thing we have to keep is you can only learn 3 new things. Right? That's the main thing we have to try to keep in mind because that's our limit. So, but we also learn that at the beginning of each day. So we only have technically 2 things we can learn before we end up forgetting other shit. But if we can retain that we learn 3 new things or can only learn 3 new things in a day, that means we have 2 spots for the actual information. And the actual information was we need to beat the shit out of Miu Miu. You know, but when we talked to Miu Miu, Miu Miu was like, "Hey, you need to go get lunch." And then I think that's what like reset her. So I think that's the control that she has over Jolene in this situation is the fact that she gives her something new to do, which erases something that she was currently thinking about. So we need to be like, hey, you can only remember 3 new things, kill Miu Miu, and then 1 other thing. Which has to be something that like basically keeps you on track. I don't know what it needs to be, but that's just what I want to keep in mind right now.
自分で取りに行くから食券だけちょうだい。どっかにメモっといてくれない？確かにグエスに食券渡したって。
悪い。
Oh my god. Okay. So she actually might be working with Miu Miu. And she'd be like, all right, just every day you get 2 lunches if you just keep doing this thing, you know? Interesting. So now your 3 things is Miu Miu's the user, ratty hair, fishnet tights. I gave Guess my meal ticket. Oh my god, this is just annoying. What a pain in the ass situation.
私のことを知ってる。
Jesus.
金髪、縮れ毛、網タイツ。何しやがんだってめえ！
Oh my god, this is just annoying. Okay. I feel she just has so much power because the second that she introduces something else, it almost resets our whole day or a whole like plan scheme, whatever the fuck it is. It's only been 2 days, so it's not like we've been locked in this like thought process for like a long time. But this can easily like at the end of this episode, it can easily be like 5 months later, and then we'll be just fucking stuck in this, which would be horrible.
記憶をすべてなくすより始末が悪い。自分は何をやっても無駄だということを繰り返し繰り返し体験し、それは身に染みて理解できるわけだからな。そのうち脱獄する気力すらなくなるだろう。
Jesus, what a pain in the ass, man. I want to work through this, but it's just so hard when like anything that we're like, anytime when she's like, oh my god, fishnets, and then she'd be like, oh look, wash all this shit. Like all she needs to do is carry around like a water gun at this point and just spray her, so she has to shower and get all this shit off of her. We need the squad.
しまった。コンセントを抜かないと漏電しているんだ。じゃないとあの出口からこの部屋。
What the fuck happened? What? Do not tell me this was an accident. There is no fucking way that you are frying because you spilt water on a fucking outlet. Someone had to have tripped you. If this is just coincidence, you're gonna bother me again.
出てジョリンお姉ちゃんに会いに行けない。ジョリンお姉ちゃんに伝えなくてはいけないことがある。忘れてはならないのはそれだ。部屋の外へ行かなくては。
What do you have writing on you?
飲み水をこぼしてしまう。
Oh my god, you are also stuck. Fuck. You're also in this limbo. And you're in this... No. Are you stuck with Jailbreak 2? And then the 3 things to remember is that, like, you spilt water, you need to go tell Jolene something, and you need to get back. And then you just keep fucking... This is a far worse situation than Jolene is in, because you will die at some point. You could be in this for a few more minutes, maybe. You are destroyed. I was wondering why you had writing on you, and it's because you're in the same situation. Did you touch the bars when you went to see Jolene? You are not telling me this is the end of the episode. What the fuck? Why is this computer on the floor? What the fuck is happening right now? How the fuck is this not a 2-parter? What is your logic? There's been so many situations where there's been 1 and 2-parters. This is definitely a 2-parter.
もはやここに用はない。生まれたものは私のものとなった。
What the fuck is this heaven gonna be? You birthed a child from a bunch of people, very culty-like. Now you have to wait for a full moon to access heaven. What the fuck are you up to?
さっきから何回巻き戻してんだよ。逆に数字がわからなくなっただろうがよ。そのバカを。
I feel like this is some of the comments I get on YouTube whenever I pause and talk too much. Hey, I was watching that show. It's like, well, yeah, but you're watching it with me, and I have the fucking controller, asshole.
新入り、あれがこのボーイ。
I know that artwork. I know this fucking thing. This is bingo bango. I'm just keeping an eye on you. Just what? Just punch. Okay. Okay. That one's a little sketchy, but in the situation, checks out. Because I feel like once you engage in combat, you'll know for sure that this is a threat, and then you can take out said threat, hopefully. But you've also written this, like, I don't know how long this has been written on you for, so I don't know. We'll see if she has an answer for it. Interesting.
どこだっけ?
I don't know.
ここはそれに私が今追っていたやつは誰だっけ?
いたぞこちら D12 通路の角おい手を挙げろ
違う今追われているのは私だ
This is It's interesting to me that the creator of this can keep finding new ways to stress me the fuck out. You know, like there's been so many like pain in the ass situations that you get put into where it's like, oh, this is exhausting. Ugh, that's annoying. Ugh, that's stupid. You know what I mean? Even though like I love them all, they're just like very like hard situations. Like, oh, how would you deal with this kind of thing? You know, and it gets like very creative. It's like, oh, well, can I do this? And it's like, no, you can't do that. It's like, well, what if I tried this? And it's like, well, then this would happen. And you're like, fuck. You know, so it's just like, it's a big trial and error thing, and you keep going against this fucking wall. And every now and then you find a little window and you get through, but then you have another fucking wall to go through, and it's a beautiful blonde man. Ideally. Not ideally, of course. Like, you know my preference, but still, I do love Dio.
階段エンポリオに会えそうだあの階段はエンポリオの部屋に行ける階段だ
Right. Okay. What the fuck is happening? Okay. That is a little wild, I will say. It's definitely a way to hide yourself because you have attached yourself to this man. And not even in an unhealthy way. Which is weird that I have to say it. Well, props. And that's where we're gonna leave it. Again, just goes to show how much in-depth like the thought process was for the amount of different ways that you can use your stance. The fact that you can, you know, unravel yourself to a tiny string, but then rebuild yourself. I wonder if she even technically needs to rebuild herself, like if her organs need to be held, or if she can live as a string, like over a long stretch, I guess, you know? But the fact that she used it to, like, you know, manipulate her body to be in a very stealthy position is just a very, very good idea.
お姉ちゃんいつからここへ今来たのよあんたこそこの手かわいそうにどうしたのよもしかしてこれ3つしか覚えられないって、この文字は
This is huge, but I can also see this being extremely confusing. God, we can only remember 3 things, and we each have to remember that same thing. We can undo one of the things that we learned because we found Emporio, so we have 2 extra slots. And he also has 2 extra slots, potentially. But even then, like, it's just like the amount of stuff we have to bump into makes it such a fucking pain in the ass to deal with. You know, the fact that when there's guards that show up, we can't even, like, remember the guards.
私と同じ独房にいたところからずっとそうだ僕はお姉ちゃんに会いたいと思ってたんだジョリーンお姉ちゃんに伝えなくてはならないことがある
She's so cute. Man, I wanted to get here, and now I'm here. Well, might as well go back to the cell now.
来たのよなぜかわからないでも会わなきゃ絶対にヤバいと思ったのよプリントアウトだプリントアウトしなきゃならないじゃないと永遠に忘れ去ってしまうんだ
Well, if you can only remember 3 things, what if you remember the first 3 things? And that's the one thing you remember. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, step 1. You can only remember 3 things. Go see Emporio, and the lady is Meow Meow. You know, and that's the one thing to remember. The second thing to remember is, and then you remember the stand stuff, and that's number 2. So, like, what if we group things together? It's a little cheeky. I don't think it's gonna work, but yeah, it's one of the things I would propose at least.
独房のとこの壁の中でその
Can you get out of my fucking wall? I didn't realize anyone could just use this. I didn't, like, this is our secret place. What the fuck do we have Miu Miu coming in here for?
いることのできないこと
お姉ちゃん何
こんなところになぜ部屋がありなぜそんな子供がいるのかは知らない
Welcome to the problem I've been having for the last 20 fucking episodes. Right? We'll figure it out.
がホワイトスネークが言っていた無線機とかを持ち空城ジョリンに協力する何者かがこの刑務所内にいるとそうい
He has to be fine. There's no way we're losing this sketchy bitch. All right? Emporio, I know I trust you, and I know we have our back and forth, but there's no shot, no pun intended, of us losing you right now. I'm not even worried about this bullet. I probably should be a little worried about this bullet. It is actually a really good shot. I'm like, we just lost 2 people. There's no way we lose the major bitch that's been, you know, not antagonized. You know what I mean.
いつのことだったらしいなそしてこれでそいつが掴んだ記録は消え去ったてめえは絶対に許さねえ熱いねだがそんな熱い感情さえ次の3つのことでお前は完全に忘れ去ってしまうそれが私のジェイルハウスロック食らえ ここまでだ空城ジョリー。お前に認識できるのは3発までだ。残りの弾丸が体に食い込むだろう。
Can we just take a second to appreciate her auratus? God.
水に映り込んだ像ならたった一つの真実
Single
同時
image,
に撃ったというなら
right?
それを見ればな
That's not far off of my remembering idea. Instead of remembering 3 different things, remember them as one thing. Right? So the water is the one thing you remember, is the water, and you could see everything in that one image. So, maybe we're not far off.
それは今あいつの糸か
Okay. Stats. Oh. It's always interesting when they have like none of some stats. You have no power. You look like you should be dangerous power-wise though. Tell me if this weird bitch didn't come at you, if it would feel overwhelming. This is a jacked dude with blades for hands for some fucking reason. You know? He looks like he should be at least be a B in power, right? Speed C, yeah. Range B, I mean, sure. Durability A, sure. Precision and growth potential. I mean, there's not really much different you can do, but it's still a solid stand. Good hit. It's always great when Jolene gets to do what Jolene does. You know, the second she is able to get her hands on someone, she will beat the living shit out of that person. Even if it was the guy that's like 4 times her, she fucking went in on him. All right, even when she saw went in on him, beat the shit out of these people. All right, it's just like it's what she has from her father. You know, it's just pure strength and willpower, just fucking wail into somebody until they're non-existent. So like every time someone's like, oh yeah, it's like, I'll just block her, I'll just get away, which she fucking just hits them hard. And they're like, holy shit, yeah, that's fucking Jolene. You gotta hurry up.
おい見ろあそこにいるぞミュウミュウ主任が襲われているゲートだゲートを開けろ
Alright, sis. I know this is a very tight situation, but you need to go and then you need to go fucking back into the Emporio room. That is our only option. Because I feel like we cannot let her go because now she knows that you're getting close. And I feel like she's just going to be a little skittish for quite some time until she gets like regains confidence into controlling you. So I'm going to hope you just knock it out real quick, take her out, and hide her in that secret room, and we'll deal with it later. You have to. No.
ここはなんで私はここにいるんだ
This is so fucking exhausting.
おっとその両腕弾丸を防御できるんだったな私の仕事はあくまでスタンド使いを閉じ込めておくこと
Honestly, even like after they announced that she was the head guard, it's like it didn't really lock in that she is the perfect person. Like right when she said there that she's the person that like confines the stand users in here, she is the person. Like that is like the most ideal person you could have to watch over everything else. So he's got quite a crazy web here to like manipulate everything around him to like for his idea. To have these sacrifices, to have people, to have an influx of people to do his bidding, to give them stand users, to take away stand users, to keep just like his machine cooking. You know, so props for him for getting that shit done. I still think he's annoying.
できる
Right.
お姉ちゃんの糸で1と0を正確に書けば
Yep.
ストーンフリーがデジタルで表現するプリンターになるんだ
Okay. I understand. But also, does this like, is this like, it doesn't feel like a big reveal to me. I thought the ones and zeros were gonna be the entirety of everything that's happened. You know, so then she, like if she needed to remember, she just looks at this thing, copies it, and be like, I got everything. I'm all caught up again. You know what I mean? Instead of just like, here's her face. We've known she was the enemy a few times now. So guess you're my enemy. Yeah, we've hit her, we've chased her, we've seen her multiple times. Why is this different?
敵と考えていいのか？お前は敵なのか？
ああ？ふくく。何言ってんだ。
How is this gonna work out in the end? She does have an army of guards right there looking at us, so if we even attack her whatsoever, we're gonna have a problem in the future anyway, right? So I don't see, like, unless she makes everybody else forget or we take out everybody else, regardless, I don't see it going well.
あれ誰を狙ってるんだ俺
The fuck?
俺ここで何を
Yeah, but like, don't they have like cameras and stuff and they'd be like, you guys just let this prisoner walk past all of you. You're all fucking fired.
ここはどこだ
I mean, she is the best key card. You have the head guard under your control that also can wipe memories. We can literally drag her around and just get to anything we want to get to and then get the fuck out. What the fuck? Who's only buying 6 eggs? I go through 30 of those bitches. I eat a fuck ton of eggs. 6? Maybe if you're baking something. But if you eat, there's no fucking... I'd be here like every day. What happened? What? What the fuck happened? This is a lot to process.
ここにあるようだ
Okay.
その場所は
Yeah.
ケープカナベラル
Yeah.
ケネディ宇宙センター
What the fuck does that mean? I'm trying to think of like what potentially heaven seems to be a place. And if he could fast forward time, that means there's something there that he needs to use this exact ability on because the plan was to birth this baby, combine the baby with you, which changes both of your stands from shrinking and DJing, into time manipulation again, but fast forwarding this time instead of pausing time. So you need to go to this location and there needs to be either a child or a thing that needs to grow or something that needs to deteriorate for you to speed up that process to get what you need to get to. So Dio could be, there could be like a cell there of Dio's. There could be a child. Maybe he's frozen. I don't fucking know. But those are the first assumptions from just like learning about this ability.
時は新月
6 days.
あと6日
And then why are you sick? You know, why are you breaking down? Does it just take a lot out of you? Can you not handle the stand? I have so many questions. You keep ending these part 2s in a fucking cliffhanger that I'm so interested about. What the fuck actually happened to that baby? What the fuck is gonna happen next week?